What's up, everyone? Welcome to the September 13th edition of FanDuel Tournament Plays presented by Prize Picks. I'm your host, Adam Scherer. You can follow me on Twitter at ShipMyMoneyDFS. And as a reminder, use the link below, click the link below, claim up to $100 first deposit bonus when you sign up and deposit at Prize Picks. Be sure to check them out for the rest of this baseball season, for this football season. Great site to play on. So be sure to use the link below. We have a 10-game slate tonight on FanDuel. They did not include the second game of the Toronto doubleheader. But as usual, we're going to take a look at three of the top tournament stacks and three of the top tournament pitchers using the top stacks tool and the top pitchers tool on the Stokastic.com website. Starting with the top stacks, number 3, the Oakland Athletics taking on Cole Ragans tonight in Texas. Ragans was solid at AAA this year, striking out 27% of hitters, did have a 4.74 xFIP in those starts, 8 starts at AAA. But so far since coming to the Rangers, he has made 5 starts, only struck out 12.9% of hitters with a 5.91 xFIP. The A's are a really good matchup. That goes without saying, but they are facing a pitcher who just hasn't been able to get it done at the major league level. They're only projected for 4% ownership with a 5% chance of being the top scoring stack. Number 2, the Texas Rangers on the other side of that game, taking on rookie Ken Waldichuk. Waldichuk's a highly regarded pitching prospect. He was a key piece of the Frankie Montas trade around the deadline, coming over to Oakland from the Yankees. He's only made a couple of starts in the major league so far. Zips projects him for a 23.6% strikeout percentage and 4.43 xFIP from now through the rest of the season. So projects as a middle-of-the-road starter at this current time. The Rangers are only projected for 5% ownership, however, and have a 7% chance of being the top scoring stack. Their active roster has a 107 WRC plus and 165 ISO. And number 1, the Atlanta Braves taking on Jacob Junis tonight in San Francisco. It's not a good park for power, but there's so much power in the Braves lineup that they still have a high ceiling, even though it's not an ideal place to hit. Junis has struck out 20.3% of hitters with a 3.84 xFIP as a starter this season. The Braves active roster has a 111 WRC plus and 188 ISO. They are projected for 5% ownership with a 7% chance of being the top scoring stack. Now, before we take a look at the top 3 tournament pitchers, we do have a new promo code for viewers of these videos. That promo code is Adam MLB. You can find it at the top of the screen. Use it and get 50% off Stokastic Plus weekly. This offer is available for new users only. If you haven't already signed up, take advantage. You'll get access to behind the paywall data, including the top stacks tool and the top pitchers tool that I reference in these videos. So again, that's promo code Adam MLB. Use it and get 50% off Stokastic Plus weekly. Now, taking a look at the top 3 tournament pitchers. Number 3, Clayton Kershaw taking on the Arizona Diamondbacks tonight in Arizona. Kershaw is $9,900, projected for about 5% ownership with a 7% chance of being the top scoring stack. The Diamondbacks active roster has a 98 WRC plus and 20.9% strikeout percentage. Kershaw this year has struck out 27% of hitters with a 2.95 xFIP. I don't expect the Dodgers to have that long of a leash on him because they essentially have nothing to play for right now. They really just need to get him fully stretched out and ready to go for the postseason. But he did throw 86 pitches last start. I expect you'll continue to see around 6 innings from him going forward. So still sets up as a pretty solid option at low ownership. Number 2, Yu Darvish, $10,400 price tag. Difficult matchup tonight against the Mariners, who have a 111 WRC plus and 20.7% strikeout percentage on their active roster. But Darvish is only projected for 10% ownership with an 8% chance of being the top scoring pitcher. He does have a favorable park in Seattle that does a good job of limiting offense. Overall this year, Darvish has struck out about 25% of hitters with a 3.64 xFIP. And number 1, Garrett Cole, $11,100, taking on the Boston Red Sox. Cole has struck out 32.1% of hitters, which is the second highest mark on the slate, with a 2.78 xFIP. The Red Sox have a 110 WRC plus and 20.7% strikeout percentage on their active roster. Cole is projected for about 12% ownership with a 10% chance of being the top scoring pitcher. Now, I do need to also mention Jacob deGrom is on this slate. If you can build lineups with Jacob deGrom, by all means, do it. He's the number 1 pitcher in terms of projection. It's not really close in terms of talent level between him and anybody else. Even Cole at 32.1% is nearly 10 points behind the deGrom strikeout percentage. But with this being a one-pitcher site, deGrom is projected for about 48% ownership. So getting a 4-to-1 ownership discount on somebody like Garrett Cole, or even a little bit bigger discount when you talk about Darvish or Kershaw, is appealing in tournaments if you wanted to play more popular bats. So that's why I mentioned them ahead of deGrom. But don't take that to mean that deGrom's not a good tournament play, because he always is. He's kind of just in his entire own category of pitchers. So to recap, the top 3 tournament stacks on tonight's slate: number 3, the Oakland A's; number 2, the Texas Rangers; number 1, the Atlanta Braves; and the top 3 tournament pitchers: Number 3, Clayton Kershaw. Number 2, Yu Darvish. Number 1, Garrett Cole. And an honorable mention to Jacob deGrom because he just transcends ownership and is a fantastic option as long as you have found a way to be contrarian elsewhere.